go live. Oh, you know what I need? I think I have it here. Yes, I do have it. Hi, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Loves Raymond, ELR 360 Live. Looking around just to make sure that Brad Garrett has something to talk about on my live streams. Yes, now I have to go back over here, and I have to hit go live for Instagram to go live. And now I should be live on every platform. Let me just straighten out my Mets hat. My special received and bought in type purchased. Let's use purchased. Pretending to be right here. Let me go over there. Uh-oh. There goes my phone to the left of my desk. Okay. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, Anne-Marie. Welcome. Tom Caldabiano, Everbrothers Raymond, 360 Live. I am happy to see you all on a Sunday. Today is the Sunday before Halloween, and we will, let's see, Halloween falls on a Friday. So Bob Silva had a great explanation or great suggestion about covering the Halloween candy episode. And again, for those of you who have been following me, Tom Caldabiano, writer, I started coming on 5 years ago. That's right. I was in my 30s then, and now I've aged tremendously just from doing all of these lives. I was a writer, and I took behind-the-scenes photos unofficially. I was not the official photographer. There was CBS photographers, etc. Let's say hi to a lot of people, but I try and talk to everybody and thank everybody who worked on the show. You know, I didn't thank who helped me do the StreamYard, which was Shane, or my friend Shane Salk, who helped me do this originally when we did a watch party with Raymond and Phil. Oh, let me pull Instagram over here, then I can see the stream up top. Hi, Tom. I missed you last week. That is very nice of you to say. It's nice to be missed. Hello from Poland, Chased. Okay, that's hello for those of you that don't know Polish. Okay. Oh, I lost my StreamYard feed. Here is this. Let's see, where did it go? There it is. Hiding behind another window. This is a New York Mets hat, but not New York Mets color, and it's a Major League Baseball official cap. And as a New York Mets fan, I'm still hopeful that they will make it into the World Series this year. Please don't burst my bubble by telling me what is going on. Okay, so many questions. Kristen, should I bring that up? That's a long one. That is a long one, Kristen. Okay, let me show that. Let's see what happens. Hi, everybody. Incredibly fortunate 1018 audience member. Okay. People don't know what that means, but you were an audience member of the live audience member for the filming that took place on October 18th at Television City at CBS. I think I have. So let's just go back a little bit, folks. There is going to be a 30-year reunion special that is broadcast on November 24th. I don't know the time. I don't know that they know the time yet. It's supposed to be a 90-minute special, which is great. I'm looking forward to it. And a portion of the show was filmed on October 18th. There were 120 people in the audience. There were 80 kind of random public people in the audience. And I understand that 4,000 people applied to be in that audience of 80 people. So a lot of people were not there, but I want to hear from people who were there. Hold on. I feel a cough coming on, but let me see. I'm going to drink in our Coach mug. Let's see if we have autofocus. Yes! Who's the nutcase now, right? Very good. Our Coach mug, voted on by all of you guys and designed and put together. Thank you, everybody, for all the kind words about how much you love your Quotes mug. Puts a smile on your face, because after all, life is not so easy for anybody. I don't care who you are. You are fighting your battles. Okay, Kristen, back to you. Hi, Kristen. Hi, everybody. Fortunate enough to be in the 1018 audience member, all caps, for those of you that are only listening. I think I have been suffering from imposter syndrome, did not feel worthy, and wished that every one of you had been there too. We would have had a blast. It's actually the contraction would have. So I'm apologizing, Kristen, for changing your words. Would have had a blast talking in the lines and inside the theater, the sound stage, technically. Thank you, Tom, at Everybody's Raymond today for creating their community. I have not been this excited since getting second row center concert ticket to my favorite band, and you don't say your favorite band. So now that's like, I think they call that teasing. The most important phrase from the audience company was, if your phone, and then did you get cut off? Let me scroll down. Kristen, you're leaving us in suspense. We need to know your favorite band. And the audience people said, if your phone, and then ... So you deliberately, I guess, did that. Okay, so Kristen, did you say hi to me? So I let me frame it for everybody, because one of my pet peeves, this has nothing to do with Kristen, who I so love that you wrote that. One of my pet peeves when I listen to people's podcasts is when they just jump into something and there's no framework. The television special has been in the works for like 5 years, a reunion special for 5 years. Obviously, it wouldn't have been a 30-year reunion special 5 years ago. But it kind of went away, then it came back. And I'll get into details after it airs of all the mechanics to get it made. But on October 18th, they decided to do a live, in front of a live studio audience. This was all Phil and Raymond planning over a year with a little bit of help, a lot of help from me, trying to figure out what the show would be. So the original show filmed at a place called Hollywood Center Studios. Then we were at Warner Brothers Stage 5. They tried to get Warner Brothers Stage 5. It was not available. They ended up at CBS Television City, which is no longer CBS Television City. CBS sold that building. It's a very, very, very iconic and historic building. So nothing has changed other than they pulled the name CBS off of it. If you watch Hacks, they use that studio a lot for exteriors, etc. And when I guest hosted the Late Late Show after Letterman, that is where I went and filmed. So the stage was set for October 18th. It was originally going to be sometime in like June, August, September. They were starting to build the sets, and they were going to film it in October. And as happens in TV, they said, guess what? You now have the green light in whatever, September, but you have to shoot it in 5 weeks from now or 6 weeks from now. So they planned that, 120 people, 120 audience members in the bleachers. And it was kind of a who got in. I know they had you guys fill out forms. And when I say you guys, the general public. So the 4,000 people that applied had to prove that they were big fans of the show. And I wish I could have gotten all, let's see, how many followers do we have now? We have about 65,000 people. So it would have been nice, but that would be like Super Bowl size stadium. So I don't know who got in. I usually talk to the audience for a long time. I was trying to take as many photos as possible of this once-in-a-lifetime event, and which I did. And I'm curious if people guess how many photos I might have taken. I'm going to say hi to everybody, but and Kristen, I'm looking for you to fill in some of the blanks because, okay, if your phone comes out, you go out of the audience. Okay, so let me bring that up. So now we're continuing. From Kristen. Here we go. If your phone comes out, you go out of the audience. So barely proof of life. Yes, I said hi to you. Kristen, you said hi to me. Did I say hi back? Did I snub you? Did I turn my back on you? Was I rude to you in any way? Where did you say hi to me? Because I will say this. I barely was able to interact with many people in the audience, and I didn't want to distract the audience in any way. So I tried to be as low-key as possible during the thing. But yes, so just so you know, the production company which made it is called Fullwell, and they did the Friends special, they did the Grammys, and they do a lot of stuff. They did James Corden. So they were the production company, meaning they were the camera people, all that stuff. And then there was the audience company that was in charge of the audience, and there were two different vibes at the filming. The audience company, which I have no control over, was extremely, extremely strict, as we've just learned from Kristen, who said, if your phone comes out, you go out. So good to know. And I wish I had some control. When we were filming Everose Raymond, I could get people in and do, within reason, things that I wanted to help people see the show. But my hands were very tied during this filming. And I hope, Kristen, that they didn't scare you. Okay. When did you say hi to me? Let's see. Near Mark Sweet. You were near Mark Sweet. Okay. Interesting. Mark Sweet, the warm-up guy who did every single episode of Raymond. And when he couldn't make it, we almost would cancel the show, although I would jump in. All right, let's go back. I'm hearing sighing. Is everything okay? Let me see. All right, let's catch up. Now I'm going back to the beginning. Hi, Chris. Did you enjoy the taping, the filming, Chris? So let me just go back. I think the filming started at 2 and we finished around 5. They finished around 5. And then I think the audience left, and then there was still stuff being filmed on the stage. And so, let's see. Hello, everybody. Hello, Bob Silva. Aloha. I'm sorry you did not make it to the filming. Hello, Lynn from Toronto. Yes, Lynn from Toronto. Now, for those of you that don't follow what's going on, the World Series is going on, and it's Toronto versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Dodgers have won many, many World Series, and Toronto, I think, has won 1 World Series. And the first game, Toronto destroyed the Dodgers, embarrassed them, humiliated them. And then in the second game, the Dodgers won. So now the games come to Los Angeles for 3 games, and it's the best 4 out of 7. Okay. Hi, Annabelle. I'm sorry you weren't able to make it. I hope everything is okay. Hi, Deb. So we're at 217. I'm looking at this. What can I share about bring that up? What can I share about the atmosphere on set, etc.? So, yes, I will share as much as I can. Let's see this. Hi, Janet in Marshfield, Massachusetts. Hi, Tom. Thanks for coming on. Great to hear of the upcoming show. Sorry I couldn't see it. Love the Who's the Nutcase Now. Yes, a very good one. Catching up on everybody. Let's see. Yes, going on. Deborah's birthday episode when Ray says, let me guess how old you are. He says, I proposed, and you said no again. I don't remember that was shown in any episode to have happened. I thought he proposed once, and she said yes to his mother, which was hysterical. Yes, so that was... okay, let me get back to that question. Hi, Karen Edwards. You guessed that I took 600 photos at the event. Okay, that's one guess. Yes, Kristen, you enjoyed it. It was amazing. Great. The ELR reunion will be a wonderful, yes, pre-holiday gift. Yes, Thanksgiving. Hi, Donnell. Donnell, I don't know, did you try and go because you were not in Los Angeles? Congratulate everyone who got to go to the reunion. Can they post their pictures in the comment field when you post this video? So, Donnell, I don't think anybody took any photos, and I will tell you how many photos I took. And also, I've been asked to not post any photos before the airing. So my guess is you heard from Kristen, your phone comes out, you go out. They were extremely strict. And usually on things like this, they'll take your phone. They'll physically take your phone, which is a logistics problem. And what if you, what if someone's texting you an important message, like there's a flash sale at Amazon that they don't want you to miss? What would happen then? So, Donnell, I don't know if did you apply, Donnell, because you would have been the perfect person in that thing. Okay. Let me see. Johanna, you were there. Johanna Pete, you were there. Did you say hi to me and I don't remember? So, for those of you that I wasn't walking around saying, hi, everybody. I came out and I talked to the audience a little bit. They asked me not to answer questions because it was there was a part of it. So I didn't really get a chance to talk to anybody. I was not in line beforehand. I understand a lot of people were in line beforehand. There was a couple of miscommunications, etc. Hello from Chanute, Kansas. Chanute. I'm going to say it that way. Excited to see the reunion special. Lynn, Toronto won 92 and 93. They won 2 back-to-back World Series. Is that true? Interesting. Hi, Karen. I love that when designing the duplicate set, they added the suitcase on the stairs. Yes, a nice touch. Johanna got to ask an audience question. So, Johanna, what was your... well, no, we can't disclose what your audience question was. Let me just see. Here we go. Oh, hi, Johanna. Did you... I also brought some scripts from my personal collection, everybody, to give out to the audience. Johanna, did you get a script? Okay, good to know. All right, let me go up to Instagram. I've neglected Instagram, scrolling to the top. See, half of me talking is hellos to the audience. Leo from Toronto says, Blue Jays versus Dodgers. His prediction is the Blue Jays win in 7 games. Okay, and again, for those of you in the UK or in Australia, the World Series is not as big as the Super Bowl, but it's pretty big. The Super Bowl is one giant event, one night, one thing of commercials that cost $1 million. The World Series is spread out over usually 7 possible games. So it doesn't have the same effect of 200 million people tune in, but it is still, and it depends who's playing as well. So go Blue. Okay, Leo, we get the point. You are from Toronto and you like the team. Chase, we love your show in Poland and watch it every day. Hi, yes, I spent 4 weeks in Poland supervising, and I'll tell you that whole story, supervising Rules of Engagement, a show that my friend Tom Hertz created. And let me see. Yeah, I'll tell you that whole story because they tried Ever Rose Raymond, and it's too long of a story to share. But the president of the network, and I loved Poland. I was there for a month from November, really from the day after Thanksgiving until the day before Christmas. I spent in Warsaw, Poland, and the people were delightful, and it was the opposite of the experience that Phil had in Exporting Raymond, if you guys get a chance to watch that. Tom, any luck on getting a CBS executive from ELR on this podcast? A CBS executive? I have to think of who would be willing, and I don't say willing like who, dragging and screaming or legal or anything, who likes to be on camera and talk. So one of the executives who's really responsible for kind of getting the show pushed forward in front of the eyes of the president of CBS doesn't love being on camera, even though she is one of the pivotal people for getting it on. Her name is Wendy, and you'll see her in documentaries where they're talking to her, but she really did. Giuseppe. So Joe, you were there. Where were you sitting, Joe? I missed. I feel bad. I was extremely busy taking pictures. Where were you sitting, Joe? I would have said hi. I'm looking at you on Instagram right now. Let's see. Tried to say hi to Tom, me, but I was very busy. Yes. I'm a fan. Ever Rose Raymond. My language and my vibe verb. Okay. Are you from another country, I'm guessing? Tom, do you know who's hosting the ELR special? Leo, do I know who is hosting? Of course I do. It is nobody. There is no host. It is your friends Phil Rosenthal and Ray Romano. Yeah, it seemed weird. I know on the Friends special, they had James Corden, who's very talented. I don't know, because Raymond is a stand-up and Phil Rosenthal now has such a big career touring the country on his TV show, but touring the country to sold-out audiences all over the world. It felt like a host would have just slowed things down. I wish I had known there was a chance to see the taping. When did they announce that? Who was there? So I announced it on this page, and I put it on. It was through a company called, I can't remember the company, an audience company. So the production company said, Tom, can you share this? We want to get super fans to go. So I posted it multiple times, and I announced it multiple times, and I said it as many times as I could. It's unfortunate, but just like when you find out that your favorite band, which Kristen won't tell us her favorite band, is in town, and you find out 4 months later, and people are like, "Oh yeah, how did you not see that?" So, and of course, the same thing is true when you're promoting a project. You feel like everybody on earth is sick of you talking about the project, and then you mention it to somebody, and they go, "Oh, I never heard about that." So, you can never promote something too much. Let's see this. Let me see. I'm trying to make, sorry, I'm combing through all these comments, everybody who's just listening. Yes, switch over to Insta, where I found this 5 years ago. Such an incredibly fortunate audience member here. It was amazing. Thank you for creating this community, Tom. You're very welcome, Kristen. And I'm sorry I didn't say, or if you said hello, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to talk, is the truth. There weren't many breaks. It was a very efficient shoot. You know, during Raymond, there would be long breaks, and I would go in the audience sometimes, and I would talk to the audience members for 30 minutes sometimes, or 20 minutes another time. And this went really fast. And of course, Mark Sweet was very good as well. So there really wasn't that much time for me to chat with anybody, and I did not want to get in the way. Okay, we want to talk a little bit about. Let's see. There's more guesses. Let me look over here. There's more guesses. Let's see. Catching up. Tom, I have a burning question about that pizza slice in Italy, the one where the Raymond was like the best slice he did. After you cleared it up, he said he wanted a second piece, but he leaves it on the counter and walks away. Do we know if that was an error? Thanks. Yes, I know that has been asked many times before. I will have to ask Phil Rosenthal if what he thinks, because that I don't know. I think my guess would be it was a mistake, and there were bigger fish to fry, as people say in the industry, and so maybe, and I've noticed this before, when you have toys on the credenza and they've moved between scenes, when you're filming, you don't notice necessarily one or two toys moving. But when you've watched it 50 times over 25 years, people go, hey, you know, that penguin moved from there to there, 4 inches to the left. So during the filming, that is not necessarily picked up. So I don't know. My guess would be it was a mistake, is my guess. Hi, Johanna. Didn't get to say hi to you. Tom, you look busy snapping behind-the-scenes photos. Can't wait to see the pictures. Okay, so far, Annabelle. Oh, interesting. So we have a guess of 600 photos or 7,000 photos. Okay, now, Annabelle, that's kind of a technique where you take the wind out of someone's sails, where they go, how much do you think I paid for this ballpoint pen? And you go, I don't know, $4, $5, and someone goes $600, and you go, well, it's not $600, it's too high. I'm not even happy with that example. So I took, I'll wait for one more guess before I tell you how many I took. Sandy Phillips, my guess is 2,500 photos. Yes, I thought I saw him eat the second piece that he asked Marie if she wanted a bite. Let me see. Yes, Ellen, you can watch the special on CBS or Paramount Plus. I don't know overseas. I don't have I'm not in. I will find out as much information as what I'm trying to say, but I don't know about London, UK, Australia, Chechnya, Poland. These are out of my jurisdiction. So, Karen Jack, I think that Ray had suddenly become so enthralled with the magic of being in Italy that he forgot to eat his pizza. So that is a great, Karen Jack, how are you? How's Bob? That is a great explanation, and that's what you would say in the writer's room when people are looking for holes. Now, if I said to Phil Rosenthal in 2000, and when did we film that? Beginning of season 5. So that's 2002, maybe? If I said to Phil in 2001, maybe? It must have been before 9/11. Yeah, it might have been 2000. Here's how I do it. I use these to count. 96 is season 1, 97 season 2, 98 season 3, 99 season 4, 2000. So in 2000, if I tapped Phil on the shoulder and said, Phil, there might be a situation where people are watching the pizza and whether Raymond ate it. And Phil would say to me, Tom, if they are, then we have a very bad story. Then we've failed. And I'll say, but no, you have a very good story. And that's why people are watching so many times. Okay, Kristen, 1,000 photos. Okay, I want to be accurate, but I closed the program that keeps count of it. I want to say I took, this is within 1 or 2 frames. Oh no, I didn't count my iPhone too. So I took 3,680 photos. 3,680 photos during that filming. So that's a lot of filming, a lot of photos, folks. The only ones that I wish I took, which I didn't take, I didn't go into the makeup room with Patty, Raymond, or Brad, or Monica. And so I took so many mirror shots during the actual filming of the original series, and when they would speed through the script. So there was an opportunity when we filmed the series where all of the cast members and me and Elizabeth Herring were in the makeup room sitting in chairs for the longest time while they read the script or did their makeup. So for this filming, everyone was in their separate makeup room, and I didn't know the layout of the set room. And by the way, it was filmed on this stage where they filmed the Carol Burnett show. And also, I tried to stay out of the way. I was very conscious to not be in anybody's way. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Halloween episode. And I just thought of something, a joke that may not be gotten overseas. Marie is accused by Ray of looking like a cupcake. And I don't know, in the UK, Australia, Poland, where else do we have a big following? There's a product in America, and I don't know if it's made it to you guys. So can my fans in America tell the type of cupcake that Marie would remind people of? And I'm going to bring that up. That's not my phone. This is my phone. I have 2 phones. Let's see here. Let me do this. I'm going over to this. You know, I'm going to have to do more sophisticated than Tom hold his phone up to. Okay, so let's get my head out of there and it'll focus. Okay, bring the mic here. All right, so there's Marie. For my American friends, what is the cupcake that has that design on it? What is the cupcake that has that design on it? I'm not quizzing you. I'm asking for the answer because I don't know the answer. I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay, so let's go back here. Let me see this. Let's see. Yes, a Hostess cupcake, but weren't they called something? Not just Hostess. Maybe it was just, I know it is a Hostess cupcake. Okay, so people are saying a Hostess cupcake. Yes, a Hostess chocolate cupcake with white frosting. My overseas friends, did you guys have that? Here, watch this. Watch this, folks. This is live. Watching live. Hold on. Hostess chocolate cupcake with white frosting. I'm doing a Google search here. Okay. Yes. So this, folks, this is I love the focus on my camera. There you go. There is a Hostess. Nothing but the finest ingredients in that, I can guarantee you. This is my youth. Anybody who grew up in America, I don't know when they were developed, but there you go. That's kind of what we were thinking when we saw that. So I don't know. Do you guys have that overseas? Let's see this. Let's see this. Let's see this. And when I say overseas, excuse me for everybody who doesn't know. White Drizzle had the design on it. Yes, yes. Don't think we had. Karen Edwards, I love that you chime in always, and I so appreciate it. Don't think we have had Hostess cupcakes in the UK. By the way, off of that, has instead of had. I misspell a lot, folks because I am busy doing a lot of different things, and I'm not saying I'm the busiest person on the planet, but a lot of times I write my entries, and then someone who's a friend of mine will write me and say, "Hey Tom, I think the word that maybe you were shooting for, which is almost unrecognizable, is this," and I go, "Thank you," and then an hour later I correct it. So bear with me for those of you who get grammar upset, have grammar fatigue from reading my stuff. Karen Kraft, Karen Jack and Karen Kraft, yes. We have cupcakes in UK, not heard of Hostess Cupcake. Gil, thank you. Yes, so I'm going to bring that one up, Bob, because that's relevant. Bob Silva, no expiration date on those or Twinkies. Yeah, but they are very delicious. I don't even want to bring into what are the peanut butter ones. There's Devil Dogs. See, now we're going down this nostalgic sugar past. Funny Bones. What are the ones with peanut butter on them? Because those are phenomenal. All right, let's talk really about the Halloween episode real quickly. I've spoken about it before, but Halloween is Friday, and I'm back on with you guys on Sunday. Steve Scrovan pitched the idea for the Halloween candy episode where Frank accidentally gives out colored packages, which are condoms, to children who are trick-or-treating. He pitched that show in season 1. And I believe Phil Rosenthal said, that's really funny, and I don't think we can do it season 1. Now, I can't remember. Phil will tell me, Scro has told me, Steve Scrovan, that I don't know if Phil even said, I can't even pitch that because, as you guys know, we are very low in the ratings. And when you are low in the ratings and in danger of cancellation, giving condoms out to children is probably not the best move. And if you're pitching a story, that is. So I believe we did it. When is Halloween Candy from? Is it season 2 or is it season 3? I know we're at Warner Brothers because I can remember that, and I know I took pictures of Phil's kids, at least his son, who was dressed as a fireman. A little bit of trivia. There's an outtake if you look it up on YouTube where they have to do take after take, and Ben Rosenthal, who's a sweet, probably 4-year-old, maybe 5 at the most. They're going, okay, here's more. And Ben, who's a sweet boy, goes, I think I have enough. And it's like, okay, Ben, this is show business. You have enough when we tell you've had enough. So that is a little trivia outtake if you look for it. Then once Phil got the approval to do the show, once we were kind of a hit show, or at least doing well in the ratings, then he got the approval to do that show. And the idea was for Peter Boyle's outfit was not to do an exact replica of Young Frankenstein. And that's when I see comments about people going, hey, why didn't you make him look just like Young Frankenstein? So it was a little bit of an homage to the Young Frankenstein, but not an identical to his Young Frankenstein outfit. And I'll look for that Steve Scrovan interview, and I will post that thing. So I will post some more of the backstory. But I think it was our only Halloween episode of this series. I don't know how. I know we've talked about this in the past. If Halloween is a big holiday, it's a very big holiday here, and it is morphed more and more into an adult holiday, I would say, with a lot more adult parties, at least than I remember. When I was growing up, although it could be different. It could have been different, and just because I was a kid, I don't remember all the adult programs that were going on. A great episode, a very funny episode, a great episode for Peter Boyle as Frank. Another episode revolving around Raymond wanting to have sex with his wife, which a lot of people seem to, I don't know if they have a problem with it, but there's something about it that people are like, Ray is always thinking about it. And I guess it's a common, I think it's a relatable thing. It's a relatable thing. And I think it was a relatable theme in real life with Raymond, not to cast aspersions, but I guess it was everything that we wrote about in the writers' room happened to one of the writers, or Phil or Ray. And a lot of people ask that. Did any of the cast members contribute any story ideas? No, and I don't. That sounds harsh, but they just didn't. And I guess if Brad Garrett or Patricia Heaton or Peter Boyle or anybody said, "Hey, Phil, this happened to me," then Phil would be like, "Oh, tell me that story." But as far as I know, that didn't happen. Thank you, Donnell. I thought season 3. Yes, I remember season 3. I remember where we are on stage, etc. By the way, I saw, for those of you that saw the Paley exhibit in New York, I saw a Paley, what was it? An exhibit? No, a lecture. What would you call it? A symposium. That sounds too big. A top secret underground meeting about the Golden Girls. And it was really interesting to hear about the Golden Girls. But one thing that I realized is the difference between being there and not being there and having to do research, because there are people on Raymond who don't, myself included, who don't know a lot about what happened in the show. You just can't. There's 130 people, and the construction department doesn't know what's going on in the writers' room, and the writers' room people don't know what's going on with the directors. So you don't. So when you hear this, kind of global outlook of a show, it's very interesting. And I realize, I'm very thankful that I do know as much as I possibly can about this show, about the Ever Rose Raymond series. But the reason I like talking to other people on our show is that they give me a perspective that I don't necessarily have. And I've used this example before. I have a friend who was a double ace in World War II, and he flew in the Italian theater, and he knew a lot about flying P-51 Mustangs in the Italian theater, but he did not know the whole picture of the war. How could he? He was 19, 20, and you just don't know it. Hi, Marie Dance. I'm fuming, lost track of time, only joined now. Sorry. The good thing is it keeps replaying. Hi, Deborah Tucker, Frank. Love the Golden Girls. Many of my closest friends have a group. They call themselves the Golden Girls. Yes, a very good show. Yes, hi, Janet Habanada. I can't remember who came up with that. That was How They Met, which I think Phil and Raymond wrote, and I think a few of us other writers. And let me answer a question that came up before. So I don't remember. I don't remember who said that. I'll ask Phil. It might be Phil. Phil would like to eat in Chinatown, so it might have been him. We'll find out from Phil. He is overdue for a visit, and he has a lot of answers. But an excellent question. So there was a question that I answered, and it's weird. In comments, not everybody reads it, nor should they. But somebody asked, hey, for thank you notes, which I just posted. Oh, let me name those people. That reminds me. For thank you notes, an episode that I just posted where Raymond is giving notes to Phil. They're going over during filming, and I'm really kind of up against Phil's ear shooting a photo. I asked, do you guys know who everybody is? And I believe Karen Edwards is the only one that really nailed those answers. But somebody in those comments, somebody said, hey, I see Phil's name on the script. Oh, I love this. I love the focus on this camera. There you go. So that is one name on the script. And watch this, folks. Watch this. This is really impressive. But it's almost hard. It's focused. Come on, baby. Oh, my head. It prioritizes my head. Thank you notes written by Phil Rosenthal. Or is it Philip? Yep, Philip Rosenthal. Okay, so somebody said, hey, I see a lot of writers there, but only Phil's name is on there. So let me identify everybody in this photo. This is good. And as I talk about, it's a little dark. I could change the shutter speed, but I'm not going to. There's a little bit of, there's a lot going on there. Raymond is pointing to a page in the script, the yellow script, the shooting script, but that page is green because it's a later insert into the shooting script. So the gray-haired gentleman, you know what? It's so hard because there's like reverse images, and I could plan this ahead and just drop them in so you didn't have to look at my working man hands. Jeremy Stevens on the right, writer. Tucker Cawley, who wrote the baggage episode and many, many great episodes, is there. Way in back, you see Ralphie and Christine, the hair department, right? Hair and makeup department. Brad Garrett, of course, Patty, deep in deep in rehearsal focus. And then in back here, don't know if you'll be able to see it. That's Don Rosemond and Rhonda, who's the head of the props. That is the whole props department. Don wearing a very popular Hawaiian shirt, contrasting with Brad Garrett's. You can't see, but she's holding a notebook and she has a lanyard. That's Ellen Halpern, who is the script supervisor, who was a dancer who appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show when a small group called the Beatles were also on. And a lot of people don't remember. And then just a piece, my head again, as soon as my head's in there, it picks it up. That's Mike Royce. Just so you know, Mike Royce, who wrote the Just So You Know quote. Okay, let me see. Okay. Ho-hos. What are ho-hos? Are they the green? Are they the, so there's Funny Bones and Ho-Hos. I think, are Ho-Hos with the peanut butter? Are Funny Bones with the peanut butter? I don't know. Okay, so let me scroll up back to Instagram, catching up with all, folks, I used to have a lot more guests on, and I can have more guests. And now that we're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook all at the same time, and we can use this service, it's easier to go live because people can go by their computer rather than having to go live on their phone. And I'm answering a lot more questions, which I actually love. Okay, let's see this. Here's this text. Let's see this. Reply to this. Okay, so let me catch up here. I got to look on this camera here. Whoa, I got to get Paley exhibit. Hi, Kate Wachholder. That's what I would say. Paley exhibit was really nice to see. I spent a few hours reading and looking at all the pictures. That is very nice of you. I do know that it is moving. Is it Old Man Phil or Dunkin' Donuts on Ridgewood Queen? Okay. Was Cousin Gerard at the reunion? You'll have to watch. The New York exhibit had the invitation. What a funny episode. Yes, the invitation. That was my friend Bobby Malozzi had the original invitation. Let me see this. Okay. Hi, Kingfish Photo. I saw a David Wild post, and he was interviewing someone who had an ELR quotes mug in front of him. Yes, so that Phil has a podcast room in his house, and he does it. He interviews big, fancy schmancy people. If you watch Naked Lunch, if you look up Naked Lunch, it's a really good podcast with David Wild, who was the first critic to really champion Ed Brothers Raymond, and a dear, a delightful person to spend time with. Who worked for Rolling Stone and has more stories than you can ever imagine. So in that room, I brought Phil the quotes mugs, a couple of quotes mugs, maybe an AIS. I haven't seen our AIS mug in a long time. Is it? I don't think it's here. So that's why, yes, that's where you saw it. For those of you that don't know, let me take a drink of this. What is this? Let me see. Here we go. Another quotes mug with a different, yeah. Who's the Nut Cousin Now is my favorite. I think this is. Wow, I'm drinking a lot of tea. Okay, let's scroll on. Just saw a picture of Robert and Amy's wedding and noticed they didn't have Father Hubley at their wedding. Do you know what that is? Because the Barones always had Father Hubley. So yeah, because they got married in Pennsylvania. Is my guess why they didn't have Father Hubley at the wedding. So that's an excellent point. Excellent point. Yes, this damn autocorrect. I don't know what that's related to, but I'm going to agree with you. Yes. I love when people have already answered, and then I love it. I love when you guys jump in with that. Off the yodels. Yes. Who did not do this as a kid? Okay, so wait a minute. We really have, this is kind of very important. Ho-hos, yodels, and funny bones? Is that right? So Lynn Van Orden, here you go. Funny bones are your favorite. Are they the peanut butter and chocolate one? Oh boy. Funny bones are my biggest unhealthy beloved snack cake. Okay. Annabelle, I love that. Okay, Funny Bones. Thank you, Maureen. Funny Bones are peanut butter snack cakes made by Drake's. Okay, great. This is great. This is great. This is fantastic. And Halloween, were the kids actors, cast, or crew children? Yeah. So Bob, I think most of them were children of the crew. I see a lot of them in there. Ho-hos are Hostess, not Drake's. Okay. There's nothing worse than fights breaking out over delicious treats. Will you be having any New York promotions for the union? Funny Bones with the peanut butter were the best. Funny Bones with the peanut butter. Okay. So I don't know. The answer is I don't know. Like I would hope that that there would be something with Paley. So here's what you need to know. The production is by CBS. And so I wish I had some control and could dictate where things and when things happen, but I have zero control. So it's up to CBS to go, okay, how much do we want to spend on promotion? Does it make sense to do something here? Does it make sense to do something there? Will Phil and Ray go on, the morning shows? It really, that is the CBS PR rollout. So I don't know is the short answer, but my guess is you are going to see a flurry of promotion starting 2 weeks out from the show. That's what I would say. That is my guess. Not my specialty, but I know that's usually how it works. And you know how when you go, my goodness, I've seen this. Here, I'm going to say this for those of you that are too young. I will explain it to you. But there was a point at one time when they discovered Al Capone's safe. And it was completely hidden, and there was going to be, who knows what inside there. A body, millions of dollars, jewels, stolen secrets, who killed Kennedy, all kinds of things. And so they promoted that endlessly. And it was a guy named Geraldo Rivera. Again, for those of you that are older and you're going, yeah, Tom, we know this. But for those of you in Poland, they are saying, let Tom finish. So that was promoted so much, and there was such a giant buildup. And I believe when they opened it, there was a total of nothing inside. Now, there might have been a lid to a soda can or something like that, but I don't believe there was anything. So, for this special, I guarantee you it will be rewarding to watch no matter how much they promote it. But I just don't know what, CBS has. It's a very, it's a business. So CBS goes, here's our spend on promoting this one of special, because they also have a network where they go, we'd rather, and this is what you'll probably see during that 1 hour special, 90-minute special, you'll see a lot of advertisements for their other shows. So that's why during the Super Bowl, Everett Raymond, when we were doing poorly in the ratings, let's put an advertisement for the show before the Super Bowl in hopes that the show continues. So there you go. That is the short of it. All right, I have to take another sip again. Okay, here, let me show you the logo. The old-time logo. There we go. Folks, kudos to this camera. Okay. And again, for those who are just joining, I can't really talk that much about anything specific in the special after it airs. And we have to vote on, do we do a watch party? How do we do this? Because I feel like what we're better off doing is we can do a watch party, but I feel bad because I want people to watch it and enjoy it and not be commenting or listening to me in any way. So we might do one afterwards, and I can talk to you through it. Throughout without you feeling like you missed something. Okay. I'm going to read a comment from Toaster Lips, which makes sense for this. Ho-hos taste like ding-dongs. Vanilla filling swirled with chocolate cake in a long roll shaped covered with chocolate glaze. My brother worked for Hostess. Okay, Toaster Lips, you are, I'm going to trust you, and I believe you are 100% correct. Okay, so let's see here. Sorry, so, oh, you know what I have, too? I had to bring it to the set. Hold on, I got to lean over here. Here you go. Whoops. So, let me see what this, okay, yeah, there you go. This, here you can see what that says. Wow, hitting so much stuff. There you go. So that has the canister in it. A lot of strugglies. The show will be amazing. We all wish we could have been there. It was live back in the day. The production made it feel like they are 29 years ago. Okay, Kristen, I think I interpreted that correctly. Yes, the set dressing team, everybody made it a phenomenal, it looked, so here, I will say this. When I walked onto the set, it was a very emotional feeling because I spent so much time there. So it was overwhelming and kind of unexpected. Ray's manager, Roy Rosegarten, said, "Come on, follow me." And then I walked on the set, and it was instantly emotionally overwhelming. So there you go. Here we go. Catching up. Wow, so many good comments here, folks. Yes, a post-reunion party. All this snack talk is putting my taste buds in full drool mode. Drool mode. Yep. Don't you hate when you're writing quickly in one letter completely? Geraldo, it was a flop. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Carol, you have a lot of opinion. I'm going to bring you up. Hostess does not take the same way they did when I was a kid. Sold to a company in Mexico, I think. Bobby Axelrod on an episode of Billions went ballistic at a board meeting for the company and complained about how bad the snacks tasted. I always thought it was a reference to Hostess. Sorry, this is not about ELR, but a lot of here are a certain age or enjoyed these snacks when we were kids. Yes, Carol, you are 100% right. You are completely welcome to share that opinion. But I also wonder, do we taint our memories because everything seemed rosy when you were a kid, and now that you've been beaten up by life, and all of a sudden you're looking for a Drake's funny bone? Is that it? Is it a Drake's funny bone? Because I can't get anything past you guys. You're looking for that to make your life a lot better from the struggles, and maybe it's too much to ask versus when you were 7 and just wanted a sweet trip, you know. Was the reunion taped in the same studio as the show? Hi, Maymay. No, I mentioned that before. The show was taped in 2 different stages, Warner Brothers Stage 5 and Hollywood Center Stage 3/8. And this was filmed at CBS Television City. So they tried, but they couldn't get the original stage. So let me see if I can brighten this up. Okay, I have to taste something before we move on. So let's see. Hi, it was the perfect cast. Kudos to the people that cast them. The show would have never been the same if one was replaced. Yes, that is kind of like a really good band. For the most part, everybody gels. And it's funny when I hear people say, Robert made the show, Marie made the show, Ray made the show. Weirdly, a lot of people don't say Ray made the show, even though the entire show was based on Ray Romano in real life. Peter made the show, Frank made look, they all added up together. And you can tell when you go, okay, let's see all these sitcoms that were made starring their individuals, and it's just tough to have that magic come together again. Nothing about the individual talent of the people, but that group together is an ephemeral moment that does not happen often. Okay, I know a lot of episodes are based on real life of either Ray, Phil, or any of the writers, so I wonder of the episodes of Good Girls and Sex Talk were based on real life also, if they were. Sex Talk, was that Raymond? So Good Girls, obviously, I know. I think that was really just the talk of how Marie would be judgmental about Deborah, and then here comes Monica, here comes Amy, who is more innocent, and Marie is going to be judgmental and looks at Deborah as not a wholesome person. So here's her chance to really like her, to really like Amy and point out the differences. So that story, as far as I remember, I can't remember who wrote that. Who wrote Good Girls? Was that a Tucker story? But that I don't know. The sex talk. So there's talk to your daughter, which becomes this kind of, what is the word, existential crisis. And then there's sex talk, which is about the sex talk for real. I have to figure that. That's a great question. So, but Good Girls, I don't think was based on somebody. It was running with that thing. Unlike Humvac or Wallpaper or She's the One, where the woman eats the fly, with the frogs. In real life, that happened to Ray's brother with the snakes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, let me go back to a few more. Then we got to taste something, folks. Who knew Tom Calderban here, writer on Everyone's Raymond, and we taste a cookie every week, or a biscuit, as you call it. And it's my honorary Jeremy Stevens, who was a writer who proclaimed that Hydrox were much better than Oreos. Okay, let's see other questions here before I break that out. I prefer not to be known as the whore of Lynbrook. I think that was from Sex Talk, yes. Frank's foot was Tasteless Frank. Nothing tastes as good. Yeah. Sex Talk is about Frank and Marie doing it twice a week, yes. Many foods were enjoyed as kids do not taste the same today. I think if we were able to go back in time and read the actual ingredients that went into the foods versus all the chemicals and preservatives today, it would explain the difference. Yep, I don't know. There was excellent point. I think we have to have a show just about snacks, clearly. Because I don't know the answer to that, because I feel like there were more chemicals in the 60s and 70s because we weren't aware of the dangers, just like doctors recommending this brand of cigarettes out of the other brand of cigarettes. Karen Edwards, they reduce the sugar in the snacks in the UK, healthier but don't taste good. This is my educated statement about food. Sugar and fat tastes good. Not many of our older snacks taste the same today. They use more chemicals and cut costs. Definitely not as good as years ago. The snack cakes probably have chemical additives to make them. Yeah, that we didn't know existed. Yeah, absolutely. No, Hostess is much worse than long ago. Okay. I never went on Saturday, yes. To take the cookies out of the canister. Now, you know what's funny? Drake's Yoda. Okay, good. I think we're kind of caught up. Maureen Schmidt. Yes, I got to figure out how to do a watch party. The problem is this box is all wiggly. By the way, I know we've hinted that the exhibit is going elsewhere. I'm getting an echo from the canister. Hold on, folks. Hold on. I'm going to let that box drop. Don't worry, everybody. Okay. Here is the canister. I think there's a few. This is courtesy of Rhonda Robinson, who is the head of props. She sent it to me. I opened it with Phil live on our live watch party. And she said, please send it back right away. And that was 2 years ago. So I'm not good at that. Okay. There we go. You cannot buy these on eBay. They were custom made. Here, watch this. With the new camera, look at that, folks, huh? Look at the detail. Let's see, how close can I get? That's awesome. A little bit of worn off paint, right? There's the top. Okay. If we had an audio guy, he'd be going crazy because I'm hitting the mic, etc. All right, let's put that. Let's see what these are. Don't know what these are from. Okay, folks, is this from the UK? Help me out, everybody, online. Yes. Okay, these are Galaxy. I don't think I've ever seen that brand before. Galaxy Digestives Orange. Oh, it says new. So so have my UK friends seen these? So for Americans, the orange and chocolate combination is not that common of a thing. Okay, let me see. Do I have? I'm gonna try and make a clean incision on this. Let me see. I know a lot of episodes. Yes. Okay, trying to catch up. Lemon squares. Yes. By the way, we have to figure out things. Where do you get the cookies? World Market has them. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay, yes. They are. I have a cookie fairy that delivers cookies to me. So I have. When I go to New York, I've gotten them at this store. I can't remember the name of it. Let me see. Okay, I'm cut. You're watching me cut. No, you're not watching me because it's below camera. Okay, all right. That's an incision. What is the name of the star in Manhattan? Kate, you're asking if they're good. I don't know yet. Oh, should have refrigerated, but what are you going to do? Okay, here we go. Getting my head out, and there's the cookie. Okay, I think it's milk chocolate. By the way, dark chocolate is, I know we know this, dark chocolate is healthy, but if you guys go to, okay, let me get the other side. That is a Galaxy Digestive. Now, do you guys say digestive with your pinky out? I think that's how Frank would say it. We don't have those so much in America. So this type of cookie with orange chocolate or biscuit, as you guys call it. And again, if you ask for a biscuit in the U.S., you will not get a cookie. They'll like, oh, okay, what do you want exactly? Okay, here we go, folks. I'm holding my hand up so you don't have to see my incredible bite. I will need a napkin, that's for sure. Very tasty. A subtler hint of orange than a Jaffa cake. By the way, I've started my spreadsheet. So it's a lot of crunch. It's I really enjoy this. Not too sweet. I would say the flavor is subtle and very well done. I think it is milk chocolate. I have to look at my ratings though, folks, because I want to do these justice. I'm going to give this like a 7.2. I really like this. This is really good. I will eat 7 of these. Okay, so here we go. The Galaxy. So, folks in the U.S., it's not a common flavor, right? Help me out. In the UK, I see a lot of orange chocolate combinations. And in the US, I don't ever remember having that as a kid. I don't remember, it's really that. And it's a really good thing. Let's see the ratio of chocolate I get onto my mouth versus what ends up on my fingers, which winds up in my mouth, inside my mouth. Yes, awesome. Okay, let me do this. Back down to Deb Tucker before we look at the time. It goes so quickly, folks. Hi, Kathy Pine. Hi, Mark. Let me see. Okay, let me go scroll down. The cookies look good. I bet if they were dark chocolate, they would be really great. Yeah, they're very tasty. By the way, if you guys, I'm going to plug, I have nothing to do with this channel, but if you look at Insulin Resistant 1 on Instagram, it's just a guy that fasts all night, and he eats... Let me see. Oh, yeah, I want to look at the label of this. It's such small printing, I can't even see. Best before November 22nd, 2025. Oh, I only have a month to eat them. Good thing they'll be gone today. Insulin Resistant 1, the number 1. It's a guy who fasts all night, and then he eats something, and then he takes his blood sugar the next morning, and then after eating, 2 hours after eating. Dark chocolate really makes a big difference from milk chocolate. I know I've heard that, but you look at empirical evidence, and he does empirical evidence. Empirical means, it's too fancy for me. It means the real life experience versus theoretical. Karen Jack, you could be on the chocolate committee. I'm pretty sure all types of fruit taste great with chocolate. Yes, you could be on the chocolate committee to say, I have a suggestion for everything. Add chocolate. Okay, let's see our final questions before we go. Sex Talk is the episode about Allie's questions of why are we here? And everyone misinterpreted asking, how do we get here? Maureen Schmidt, I feel like talk to your daughter. Is there an episode called Sex Talk? Let's establish that. It's confusing for us. And I think I told you once, we had dinner with all the writers, and Ray had ranked every single episode, and he was worried about hurting the writers' feelings if their episodes weren't high on the rankings. And none of the writers could remember not only what they wrote, but what the episodes were about. These are writers of the series, because there's a lot of common names. So Sex Talk, I think, is about the birds and the bees, and Talk to Your Daughter is about the existential crisis. I don't know, but they were definitely two different episodes. Okay. I'm pretty sure all types of fruit. Now, by the way, you know what was interesting? Hi, Lynn Van Orden. Okay, thank you for, we have a shared experience. I have never heard of orange digestive chocolate. Yeah, digestives that are chocolate, yeah. Sex Talk, Season 4, Episode 4. And when was Talk to Your Daughter? That was later on, right? Talk to Your Daughter, I think, was Tucker and Raymond wrote that. I love that I have an encyclopedia now. By the way, you know what's very interesting watching the taping is how many memories that about episodes that Ray and Pat, there were a lot of wrong, they were close to accurate, but these are the world experts on the show. Ray and Patty and Phil Rosenthal. I don't think there are people that know more, you would think, about the show than those people. But the memories, just like with me right now, I'm going, okay, Sex Talk, I think they're talking about sex, and then Talk to Your Daughter, they think about they're talking about sex, but it's an existential crisis, etc. So, but it was interesting to me as I'm listening, because I talk to you guys every week. I see pictures of everybody every week. I live in the land of Everett Raymond much more than most of the people that worked on the show. And you guys live on it more, within the show more than any of us, because you watch it so often. So it's just interesting how many things, and we'll have to see the cut of the. The cut. Let me get a little inside baseball. They filmed on October 18th. Now they have to edit together the show. So there was just a portion of the show that was filmed. So if those of you who missed it, you missed a portion of the show. The rest is clips and photos and et cetera, weaving things together to make it a 90-minute special. Were Patty's kids ever on the show? Hi, Kate. I don't know. That's a good question for Patty. Like, I remember them being there. Do you remember the proposal? What was that called? The proposal? The engagement episode where Robert comes out of the police car. So Patty's kids were there because I took a bunch of pictures of them when we were away from the set, because we were outside of the New York City street. But I know they weren't in that scene. But as far as I know, they were never in an episode. They visited the set. I have pictures of Peter Boyle talking to Patty's kids, but I don't remember them being in the background of any of the scenes versus Phil's kids and Ray's kids, who are in a lot of episodes. Excellent question, Kate. Remind me when Patty is back. I did see Patty, obviously, and she's like, I have to do your show again. And I'm like, absolutely not. No, I said, of course, anytime. Okay, let me see this. Going back. Not as good as the cookies from the Cookie Lady. Yes, very good. Awesome callback. Hi, Donnell. Let's see. I love Donnell. Bring it. The camera's so good I can read that it says Lomard St. Dublin, Republic of Ireland on the label. Aha. Yes. And I will do, let me see if this, see, I swore the one thing you have to do about a cookie is not, or biscuit, do not look at the ingredients. That is not what this is about. Okay, so there you go. That's the backside. Sorry. Thank you, Danielle. Send thank you to Sony and all of their engineers. We gluten-sensitive people would love for you to do a gluten-free snack taste test one of these days. Karen just suggests gluten-free snacks. And are you talking about like a delicious apple or something like that, which is not quite as interesting? Hi, Maureen Schmidt. Sex Talk is the episode of Alice's question of why are we here? Okay. Let's see. Oh, now I'm going back. Let me catch up. Whoa, so many things. Annabelle, let's bring you right up. Annabelle. And where's Kim Brazier today? Sex Talk does start with Marie finding a book that Deborah is reading about how to tell your kids about sex, which starts the conversation about Marie and Frank. So it is confusing to confuse these two episodes. Thank you, Annabelle. Yes, the book about how to talk to your kids about sex. Let's see. Ray's daughter. I don't remember if Ray's sons were on the show. Yes, Ray's sons are in the show many times. In the basketball episode, it's supposed to be fun. I think they're in the fairies episode. I think they might be in a Halloween episode. They are in quite a few. They're in the stands when they go to the Ice Capades. Tucker Cawley is there with his daughter. There's a lot of people from the show many times. So there you go. Okay, final questions, everybody. And again, Tom Caltabiano here, writer on Everyone's Raymond. I really appreciate you guys jumping in and answering when people don't have questions, and it seems like I don't ignore people. I just don't. The amount of messages I get a week is astounding. So I know even for me personally, when I write a message to somebody, I'm like, well, how dare they not answer me right away? There are times when people who I really, really, really am close friends with, and 2 weeks later I go, oh, I missed your message. So I really appreciate it when people jump in and try and answer for me, or do answer for me, or on behalf of their knowledge of the show. Okay, let's see this. Time changes next weekend. Okay. Thank you, Lynn. So time changes. So that means for our UK friends, we will catch up to you. Yes, that's good. Going up, scrolling back up. Hi, Anne-Marie. That is very nice of you guys. Thanks, Tom, for another great informative live. Have a wonderful week. See you next weekend. Yes. Maureen Schmidt. My bad. I switched them. So, Maureen, can I tell you, I love that people, when they admit their mistakes, and Maureen, you're allowed to, if we, the writers, get them confused, I think you, as a viewer, are allowed a lot of leniency, and I really appreciate all of your comments. Thank you very much. Patricia Heaton had her hair cut. She posted on her Facebook page the other day, so evidently she had a new look for the reunion. Let me tell you something about actresses. They have a lot of different looks. Often I can't keep up with them. I can't, I don't, Patty has had a lot of different looks throughout this show, and obviously a lot of time has passed, and Patty looks, phenomenal. I don't remember I don't remember her hair. That's a very Guy thing. I know she had hair, and I know that it looked good at the reunion, but I can't speak on whether it was like a new style or whatever. I know when she came here in person, she had a very, they would call it a severe, like she had her hair pulled down and whatever, and she has quite a head of hair. So a lot of people commented on that. Bob Silva, again, thank you for all of your messages, and I'm sorry that you didn't make it to the live. I hope they have a premiere. If I can do anything in my power to get you into a premiere of anything, I will do so. All right. Yes, Habanada. We got to find that out. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you next week. Thanks for all your comments. Give me any suggestions. We'll plan a watch party, but I think not the night that it screens, because I think we want to watch it and enjoy it, right? I'm taking my vote. I'm answering for you guys. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. See you next week. Have a very, very good week.